of your body, backache, eyesight check. One of the causes in India, road accidents. One of the main cheese is the eye-related problems of highway drivers. 74 accidents. Mind you, this is very important. Last but not the least is personal protective equipment. Keep on trying these things. Information training, most important. Training. Yesterday, I'm very happy that Malaysian friends, they said one-day training program. Vision Zero booklet yesterday, Traichal Barnard was telling, we have translated our Hindi language. You see, it is in ISA website. We have made it in our own language. You must be knowing, this is very well read in our Eastern India, Bengal and Odia. Vision Zero construction sector, illusion or reality? Construction is high-tech, great ecological factors, but construction other facets also. Hard work is required. Life or death destroys hearts. So the solution is a Vision Zero strategy. Duties and responsibility of employer, employee. Everybody has got a responsibility. It's not only the management, it's not only the worker, it's not only the trade union. All have to stakeholders. So Vision Zero is a continuous movement now in India. Thanks to our German partners and all, we have led it to a movement in our country now.
Security, unless there is a law.
একটা ইএসআই ইমপ্লিমেন্ট করা যায় না গোটা সবসময় প্যান ইন্ডিয়াতে
মিস্টার সিং বললো যে ফ্যাক্টরি একটা কি আছে সব তো টেকনিক্যাল আছে স্ক্রু তার সাইজ হ্যাঁ পাইপ তার সাইজ লাইট তার সাইজ
अब याद रखना है अपनी सेहत का पहले ख्याल रखना है हर काम करने वालों को अपनी सेहत का
अपना शरीर का खबर रखेगा
रखना है
ভালো ভিডিও দেখিয়েছিল ভীষণ
धरती को सजाना है
বাচ্চাদের চোখের জলটা তো ইমপ্রেশন দিল না চোখের জল দিল
अपनी सेहत का
খায়নি যে
ख्याल
খাবে না চাকে
ম্যাডাম কি খাবে ম্যাডাম কি খাবে
ম্যাম চা বলবো ঠিক আছে আছে এখানে কেউ নেই হ্যাঁ আছে এই সামনে ঠিক আছে ডাকো ঠান্ডা চা খাবো না ডাকো তো একটু
खानों में काम करो या खेत और खदान में आग से काम करो या फिर तुम महल बनाने में
দুটো হয়ে যাবে তো
में खतरा होता है सोच के
দুটো হয়ে যাবে
मन में परवाह करो अपनी चाहते अपनों के
মশালাটি গরম
हेलमेट चश्मा जूते जो चीज जरूरत है खुद पहनो और पहनाओ सबको समझाना है हर काम करने वालों को अब याद रखना है अपनी सेहत का पहले ख्याल रखना है जीवन है अनमोल उसे कभी खतरों में मत डालो खुद पर चोट न आए कैसे बातें सोच लो 8 घंटों की काम करो किस सुरक्षित रह के उसके बाद में जरा सोच लो कुछ पल निकाल के लापरवाही की राहों से और नहीं गुजरना है होशियारी से आगे बढ़ो यही ज्ञान दिलाना है हर काम करने वालों को अब याद रखना है अपनी सेहत का पहले ख्याल रखना है आ जाए कभी जान किसी का किसी भी हादसे में यही बताने हम आए हैं, जहाँ तो जहान है। कसम है सबको याद रखना हमारे बातों को, जो है जरूरी चलो पहन के खुद को बचाने को। अनजाना दुख और डर को अब मिलके भगाना है, सावधानी के सफर में अब सबको गुजरना है। हर काम करने वालों को अब याद रखना है, अपनी सेहत का पहले ख्याल रखना है।
Why I showed you one important thing in the last, the scavengers, the sweepers. A very interesting story and facts about behind it. When I was a commissioner in Maharashtra, sometimes in Mumbai, I found in the morning lot of sweepers, scavengers are taking out, all municipal corporations early morning when you are all sleeping, they are taking out all your waste. But unfortunately, they don't have three things, which is very much important for Vision Zero, which I also put some time back. They do not wear the gloves. They do not wear the mask, which is very much in after COVID-19. And third, they do not wear the footwear. You will be surprised. I interviewed 196 sweepers. Early in the morning, 196 sweepers. And I came out with a takeaways that it is inconvenient. You cannot adopt certain European things, some Indonesian things, somewhere all without taking into your local conditions. I asked them, why you are not wearing? आपको क्या problem है? What's the problem with you? ना सर ये तो fit नहीं होता है. I cannot work. So I wrote a long 4 pages letter to BMC commissioner then, my good friend. He is subsequently become the chief secretary. I said, why don't you have a meeting with your trade unions, scavengers, and come out with a unique two things, culture. A sweeper's culture, they do not have a culture of being cleanliness, safety, and all those things. And second, devise ways how to get into the safety equipment. You will be surprised, and it's a very good news, that Pune developed certain, there's a city called Pune city, they developed certain equipment which now being used. So they are the real warriors, the scavengers and sweepers, particularly during COVID time we found. So my request, when you go back, each of you do two things. Again, yesterday I told, whether it is any country in our Asian countries, mostly workers are contract workers, unorganized workers. So you have started a campaign. You forget about what scheme will come after 10 years, 5 years, after 5 days in your companies. Those contract workers who are there, those unorganized workers who are daily through contractors, do two things. And you will see the Vision Zero coming. One, make them register under some government. Now, Government of India has brought out a very good eShram portal where you can register. If you register there, minimum 2 lakhs of insurance, and they can be covered under Ayushman Bharat 5 lakhs. It's a great amount for them. Don't wait for ESI. Don't wait for, the sky will come. Now be on the Jameen. Now, what is available, grab it so that they have something. Because the out-of-pocket expenses in our country, once somebody is falling ill in the 75%, you see, out of 100 rupees, they spend 75 rupees on healthcare, where they will have the livelihood once they're ill. So get them covered under that scheme. Second, kindly, when you are in the companies, make the contractors, whenever he's bringing in loading, unloading, morning, please see that some kind of let the management, do not sit down in your air-conditioned chambers, MD or Please come out to the gate. Tell it a smiling face. Apps, you are our main person, worker. Be safe. These two lines, it will make a change. So this is what the message I wanted to give. Because Bharat Chamber wanted some 5-10 minutes because their speakers are coming. I hope I have given a point, and that Vision Zero can be achieved. It is not come out of here. We can do it. It is possible. As I told you, when we started in 2017, people started asking me in India, what is Vision Zero? Is it possible? But now, I have written some kind of presentation, if I find time. In the May Day celebration, this May, I made a presentation. Vision Zero is a myth or a reality. And you'll be having a surprising, the last slide which I presented, 90% company executives are telling it's a reality. Which 90% when we started in 2017, June 16th, they were telling, Mr. Sahu, what is Vision Zero? Now they are telling when Vision Zero. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to all of you and welcome to day 2 of the International Conference on Vision Zero, India and Malaysia. The Vision Zero mindset is about the journey towards a higher prevention level. Mental health management is an important aspect in this journey. On this note, we will start today's plenary session. But before that, may I please request our speakers for the first plenary session, Dr. Shivaji Bhattacharjee, meditation and mental health expert, to kindly join us on the stage. Our next speaker, Mr. Birendra Prasad Singh, Vice President of Occupational Health System of Rashmi Group. Sir, kindly please join us. May I now request Professor Dr. Shubhashish Shahu, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Physiology, University of Kalyani, to kindly join us. Our first speaker, a very warm welcome to all the speakers for the first session. Our first speaker is Dr. Shivaji Bhattacharjee, a dedicated and reputed yoga expert and practitioner. With more than 3 decades of experience as a wellness coach, Dr. Bhattacharjee has achieved profound understanding of yoga and its physical techniques and spiritual dimensions. Besides physical benefits, Dr. Bhattacharjee's expertise lies on promoting the therapeutic aspects of yoga. He has successfully integrated yoga therapy techniques to help individuals manage chronic pain, stress-related disorders, and improve the overall mental health. May I request Dr. Bhattacharjee to kindly give his observations on meditation for mental health management.
next So, a very good morning from Kolkata to all the delegates who are here today. And I would like to thank all of you for coming and joining here, sharing your experiences, your vision. And you have got a very noble vision for the world to give, called Vision Zero. So I'd like to thank the Bharat Chamber of Commerce also for organizing this event. I am Dr. Shivaji Bhattacharjee, and I've been practicing in this field for last 3 decades now. So I also had a vision to give people much better understanding about their mind, about their body, about their intellect, and about their soul. So my topic is about the meditation for mental health management. We all understand that the first thing which comes in our body is a thought. You know, a thought gives us a kick to start something new. And I think it was in 2019 when somebody had this thought and it came into his mind and he started the program Vision Zero. So for bringing up a good thought, you must have a clarity of your mind, a focus of your mind, and a vision for your mind. So how to bring that vision, we will teach you now. So first, let us go through the slides. We will show you some pictures here. Mr. Ford, chairman of Ford Motor Company. Ms. Oprah, Bill Gates, Virat Kohli, the Indian cricket team captain, Anushka Sharma, actress, and many more photos. So what are the similarities of these photographs? What do they have the similarities in them? You know, they all do meditation. They all do meditation every single day. And what do they have to say, if you can do through that? Oprah says, I usually meditate when I feel there is a lot happening in my brain and I'm losing grasp of my patience and ability to prioritize. The Indian cricket team captain, he says the benefit of meditation is helping us to deal with stress and is also having a calming effect on our mind. Bill Gates, it helps him remain mindful and balance his broader personal and professional goals. So to bring some change into us and to the society, first of all, it was a big battle against the dharma and adharma, means the duties and those people who are against the religious duties. At that time, Arjun was there to fight the battle from the side of Pandava. And he was physically super fit person, super fit. And he came to the battleground and suddenly decided not to fight. What he said, Chanchala hi mana Krishna, pramati balavadram, tasyam nigrahamanye, vairo sudhishtitam. He is saying that my mind is not stable. And my mind is not stable, although I know how to control the air. With my energy, I can control the flow of air. With my energy, I can control anything happening in the environment. But Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, he's asking that I'm unable to control my mind. So please tell me what to do. And what did Lord Krishna told him? Asangsya mahabaho mano durnigram chalam abhyasena to kanteya vairagya cha grihate. So Lord Krishna told him to practice. Just practice, and that is how you will develop to control the form of your controlling the mind. So this shows that the form of meditation is not today, but it is originated long back. And even when I was reading one of the oldest textbook of India, one of the oldest textbook of the world, not only of India. I must tell you, when you go back home, you should remember the oldest textbook of India, of the world, is Srimad Bhagavatam. And in Bhagavatam, Lord Krishna is telling about his entire daily activities. You see the picture? That is the picture of Lord Krishna. In that, he is saying that at 4 o'clock every morning, that is the Brahma Muhurta, from 4:30 to 6:30 is the Brahma Muhurta, when the mind is maximum in the mode of goodness, Satoguna. At that time, Lord Krishna sits and does practice meditation. Being God, he is practicing meditation. So he himself is also prescribing that everyone should do meditation. Now, let me tell you, after all this happening of the meditation, many scientists and doctors came together to team up to find out that what meditation can change in somebody's life. There was a big experiment by Harvard University. What they did, they put up an app to everybody's mobile. They selected thousands of people and they put up the app on that mobile. And then they asked that there will be certainly anytime, supposing you are sitting and suddenly there will be a notification in a mobile, which you will have to answer. The question may be, okay, you are sitting here, is your mind here? Or your mind is occupied somewhere? Many of maybe you are also having the same problem. So they have to answer, yes, I'm not here. Although my body is here, my mind is not here. Are you happy with your job? Yes or no? Everything, the apps. Daily, they used to put up questions, and for a month of 3 or 4, they continued the practice. And what the result came out was very surprising. Of the 100%, 50% of the people were not present on the field when they were supposed to present or to give their best. So that decreases the work efficiency. If your mind is not present on your job, what you're doing, your work efficiency also reduces. Similarly, when the armies of American army, when they came out from the Iraq war, and all of the armies were having PTSD. You know about PTSD? Post-traumatic stress disorders. So as because they had been in the battlefield for long, their mind was very much disturbed. They were not able to work with their family, with the children, with their society, because their mind was in trauma. They have undergone several things in front of their eyes happening. And that memory was disturbing them. And they did MRI and EEG, everything to that army people. And they were having more of delta wave, which is very disturbing waves in your brain when it comes, when your mind is disturbed. Theta wave and delta wave. So they brought all the armies, they selected, and then they put them in meditation. Long hours of meditations. And then after a month of 3 or 4, they again did the EEG, that is electroencephalogram, just like ECG for the heart. There are waves coming out from our brain. They did the EEG and they found that alpha wave is coming out from the brain more. So the alpha wave is the calming wave of the brain. So then now they got the evidence, yes, meditation does work to bring change in people. Now, so we need to understand what is meditation. Although the definition of meditation is not absolutely clear still, but we can term meditation refers to a variety of practice. There are variety of practice. We will go on to that also, that focus on body and mind integration and are used to calm the mind and enhance overall well-being. So just previously we showed the photo where Arjun was totally fit, but his mind was not fit. So he was, would you say that person is fit? If somebody's health is perfectly okay, but his mind is not, would you say that the person is fit? Will you say that? Yes or no? Yes or no from your side? No. Thank you. So now, I will just go straight to the types of meditation. How many types of meditations are there? One of the meditation thing is we will practice here also is a mindfulness meditation. Now very much popular about meditation, one of the form of meditation. This type of meditation involves the process of being fully present with what you are experiencing in the current moment. What you're experiencing in the current moment. This includes your body, your thoughts in a way that is concentrated, curious, and open. So right now you're sitting here on the chair. You are listening, your ears are listening. You have to be aware. Your eyes are watching, you have to be aware. Your hands are on the pen, you have to be aware. So that awareness brings a change in the mind. So you are more aware, so more your thoughts are clear. Supposingly, about the awareness, if I ask someone right now, supposingly anyone, sir, you, just tell me, looking towards me, what shirt color your right hand person is wearing? Tell me, look, I'm asking you. Huh? What shirt color that right person is wearing? Huh? Huh? Light color. I asked not right or bright. I said the color. Whitish. See? Is it right? Is it right or wrong? Right or wrong? Is it white color? Could you see that white? No. So see, you are sitting beside someone for so many hours or so many minutes, but you're not aware about what is happening around you. So this meditation will bring awareness not only about your surrounding, but also about your mind, what is happening inside the mind. Okay. Next form of meditation is mindfulness-based meditation. This is a specific type of meditation taught over an 8-week period. The previous one we can do right now for 5 minutes. But this program, if you teach, we have to select for 8 weeks. That person is gone through certain yogasanas, Ashtanga Yoga, and through that, he evolved a new personality. And this is a cognitive meditation, mostly treating for the depression. Many people are suffering with depression, even in the factories also, if you go through, the people are suffering with some sort of depression they are going through. So that brings a change into them. Concentration meditation. A concentrated meditation practice keeps the mind fixed on one object. We do this Tratak meditation. We put some object, a light or something, and we focus the eye looking to that object for a long time. And slowly, slowly, you will see that entire remaining other things your mind is not taking any further. So your mind is completely focused onto that object. That is called concentrative meditation. Mantra meditation. Have you ever heard about this mantra meditation? Chanting any meditation, any word which you can have faith of any religious topic, anything. You just word by word, you chant in your tongue, try to hear them carefully and pass it onto your brain without hearing any other objects. Slowly, slowly, you will understand how effective it is. Transcendental meditation, this is a style of mantra meditation that involves personally assigned mantras such as word or sound, a bell sound or something which is taught. A guided meditation, concentration, meditating, in which you form a mental picture of the situation that you find relaxing. Supposingly, I draw you to somewhere where you find very relaxing, suppose a seaside or a mountain, just imagining virtually, that also calms down the mind. So overall, to bring everything into one, how the meditation works, it brings a focus of the mind. It changes the mood. Many people undergo suicidal thoughts. That also changes. It has gone evidence of there. Self-esteem changes. Depression, anxiety, PTSD, loneliness, sleep disorder, and social anxiety. And where a lot of evidence is that the meditation is not changing your mind overall, but it changes your body also. How? People suffering with high blood pressure, the worldwide epidemic now, or diabetes, or fibromyalgia, pain happening around the body. When we put them onto meditation phase, we have seen that their hypertension, the diastolic pressure, or the sugar insulin resistance has changed. And their medicines, what they take, is more effective after the meditation. So there we have seen the effect of meditation not happening to the mind only, but to the body also. So now we would like to do a 5-minute, if the people allow me, for 5 minutes of practical meditation. Sir, do we have the time for 5 minutes of? So can we do 5 minutes of meditation here right now? Okay. So let's try it for 5 minutes. Okay. First of all, you sit with your legs relaxed, sideways, whichever you find relaxed. Put your back relaxed on the chair. And I will show practically. Suppose this is the chair. So first you must make sure that your legs are properly placed on the floor. Sit relaxed with your back. Shoulders also relaxed. Gently close your eyes. And I give you 1 minute to be a very good observer of your mind. Be an observer of your mind, a very good observer. See where the mind is going. Where is it going? Where? Just like a mother watches her children, small children, where he is running from door to door, from one room to another room. Just let your mind be free and watch it where it is going. Slowly, slowly. Relax fully. You have time to watch your mind. Do not stop it. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Navigate your mind, just follow it. Now, keep your eyes closed. Now, the time when you are watching your mind, probably you were not very much aware about your breathing. Now you bring your mind slowly onto the tip of your nose. And there are 2 doors, supposingly, on your nostrils, on the right side and the left side. Very slowly we'll inhale when I count for 6. Slowly inhale 1, inhale 2, inhale 3, inhale 4, inhale 5, inhale 6. Hold your breath. Exhale 1, exhale 2, exhale 3, exhale 4, exhale 5, exhale 6. Again, inhale 1, inhale 2, inhale 3, inhale 4, inhale 5, inhale 6. Hold your breath. Relax your shoulders, relax your neck. Exhale 1, exhale 2, exhale 3, exhale 4, exhale 5, exhale 6. Relax. Take a deep breath. Hold your breath. Just chant. Relax. Now keep your eyes closed. And just for 1 minute, shut down all the openings of your mind. And make sure for 1 minute, you're going to concentrate on your breathing only. You're not going to concentrate on any of your thoughts. 1 minute, only 1 minute. Slowly breathing in, slowly breathing out. Gently place your right palm over the center of your chest. Right palm on the center of your chest. And the left palm onto your navel. Onto your navel, abdomen. Now observe when you inhale, your chest goes up, you can feel it. When you exhale through nose, the navel goes inside. Inhale again, slowly feel the right palm. Exhale, pull your navel inside. Again inhale. Exhale, relaxly. Inhale again deeply, slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold your breath now. Hold your breath. Hold your breath. Relax. Pull your navel in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax. Remove your hands. Feel your thighs, both the thighs relaxed. Feel your feet. Feel your back relaxed. Your shoulders, your arms, all relaxed. Take a deep breath again once more. And together, just loudly chant Om. Once more. Sit quietly. And for just last 1 minute, observe what are the thoughts coming to your mind, but don't engage yourself onto those thoughts. Acknowledge them and come out. Take a deep breath once more. Hold your breath. Relax your muscles. Relax your neck, head, eyes. Exhale out slowly. And slowly, slowly open your eyes. So the thing is that I don't think that you need to have a perfect environment. You can practice this meditation wherever you are. Supposing you're traveling inside a car, the driver is driving, you are sitting on the back seat. You have a time of 5 minutes traveling, you can sit there. You are traveling in aeroplane, you can practice there also. To be aware, because the end, I would like to say, the mind controls your body and your breath controls your mind. So if you can control your breath, you can control your mind. And if you can control your mind, you can control your body. And if you can control your body, you can control your senses. If you can control your senses, you can control your intellect. And if you can control your intellect, you can control other people also. If you want your voice to reach to other people, first listen to your voice, what is happening inside you. And to listen to your voice, you have to do meditation. Then only people will hear you, understand you. If you don't understand yourself, people will not also understand you. So first, this is the point I would like to share you. Thank you so much, sir. And thank you to all of you for listening to me. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, if anyone has any question, I would like to give you answer if it is possible for me.
I think what this meditation, because as you practice, this comes up in our now management, in government offices also, they have started doing way back some yoga, some meditation. But the only thing that you should be clear in your mind in the morning, that you do this, in the evening you do it, and anywhere you can do it, as he rightly brought it out. And it helps also that you, because stress, you see, everybody is telling that you have a BP, you have a stressful life. So I asked a doctor, a very famous doctor, you can't avoid stress in your life. Even a doctor, you advise, but you are very much stressful because you have. How to get over this thing is this: do something of yours, but be cheerful, be active, do your work.
Yes, I would like to add on to this once more. Thank you, sir, for adding the doctor's word. I started my first career in BM Birla Heart Research Center. There was a heart hospital out here in Kolkata, one of the famous heart hospital. Under one of the famous doctor, Dr. Devi Shetty. He is the topmost cardiac surgeon in the world right now. And he used to come to 9 o'clock to his duty. And every day he used to do 6 bypass surgeries, 6 congenital heart. You know how much concentrated and how much precise you have to be when you are doing a congenital heart surgery. Tremendous. The heart size of a baby, of premature baby, could be around this much. And you are watching through the microscope and putting the shunting or putting the holes, So I asked one day Dr. Shetty that how could you be so concentrated onto the things and how you are so precise and how do you get so good results? People are so much knowing you. So he said, Shivaji, I follow a routine every day. I get up early at 5 o'clock, as I said, the Brahma Muhurta. And first thing which I practice is meditation. He is a very meditative person. And the day I have seen, one day he came rushing to the hospital and he said, today I'm not going to do the surgery. My mind is not into full. And he canceled because any mistake of your mind can kill someone. So similarly, when you are working the factory, any mistake of your mind can damage somebody else. So Dr. Shetty was very much onto it and many doctors are doing. So my humble request to all of you, take meditation into your life. 5 minutes, start with 5 minutes, 15 minutes, then you will see the change happening to you. Thank you. Of course. Thank you, sir. Thanks. Thanks.
Anyone has any question for Dr. Bhattacharjee? Okay, so sir, we'll take it at the end of the plenary session. Our next speaker is Mr. Birendra Prasad Singh, Vice President of Occupational Health Systems Rashmi Group. Mr. Singh is actively involved in overseeing and implementing safety protocols and ensuring compliance with environmental regulations. We have Mr. Singh with us once again. He was there yesterday as well. Mr. Singh will be making a presentation, sir.
Good morning to you all, ladies and gentlemen. Yesterday, I had to interact with you on experiences of practical things in industries, but I could not, so the slot has been given today. The safety, as it is planned, Vision Zero. This is task we all over the world have to achieve. But it seems it is a daunting task. How we will achieve it, that is a matter to be thought. We are doing many things, organizing such type of vital seminars, conferences, making people aware what to do, how to do. Because as far as India is concerned, we are a developing country, and very soon we will be knocking the door to be developed. So the industrialization will be fast and faster in our country, and it is happening. There are many plants which creates very dust, very bad environment, that is DRI, blast furnace, steel melting shop, basic oxygen furnaces. All these industries are creating very much dust, noise, high temperature, many other things. So the problem arises how the industrial accident will be made zero. Construction, we have talked much more. Their administrative controls are much more prevailing. By administration, we can achieve our target, and we are doing also. But in industries, as I said, 7 tools we are listening from yesterday. 7 tools we have. That is, first tool is leadership. So leadership and commitment. How the leadership will be shown? How? Yesterday, day before yesterday, there was a cricket match between India and Sri Lanka. India was about to lose, and then the leader came in picture, changes the situation, and he himself, by his strength, won the losing match. The match which was almost we were defeated, but India won. So leadership skill should be there with the leaders. Why I am telling all this? This is my grief. After 30 years of experience in safety propagation in the shop floor in different countries, whether it is big name or a small name, I have worked many places. And everywhere we find that safety and safe procedure is left to mere only safety officers. I do not know how many of you are from shop floor industries. Will you please raise hand? How many are from industries? Industries on shop floor? So there are 4 or 5 hands coming up. It means the shop floor people are not sent to the seminar like this, where many great discussion taking place. So we have to do first those persons who are responsible for getting the production, targeted production achieved. we people as safety propagator, I'm not only a safety officer, I am a basically mechanical engineer, worked in maintenance operation of different plant. And thereafter, I am here in system development, TPM, safety, many other systems. So what I find, those who are responsible on the shop floor to get the process operated in a safe manner are not very much aware of the Factory Act 1948. Factory Act, you by name you can listen, you can think that it is Factory Act. It is for those persons who are working in factory, whether they are in purchase or account or HR, any department. Factory premises, once the premises is there, entering inside the gate is factory, not the office. Account, purchase, HR, these people are of the opinion that I am not in the factory, I am in the office. No. Factory is defined the premises from the very beginning where the license has been given. So, Factory Act, if they are not knowing, who all the way 8 hours, 20 hours, 16 hours working in the factory only, but they are not aware of the Factory Acts. Factory Act is not a law only. It has not been prepared by lawyer. It has been prepared by engineers, a knowledgeable person, very much knowledgeable persons of group of persons from their area of expertise, engineering, and Parliament passed it as bill is passed. And thereafter, with that, the different states makes rules based on the Factory Act, that is called section. Factory Act, section 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very small book. And there, schedule 1, 2, 3 is there. Most engineers and the head of the department are not even knowing what is schedule 1, 2, 3. If someone knows, I am sorry, I pardon. But fact is this, that when a person is appointed to head a process like blast furnace, he should be aware of the Factory Act schedule 1, 2, 3. Schedule 1 says, list of factories, hazardous factories. This is 29 in numbers, only one page. Second schedule says, chemicals, different chemicals which is used in the factories, their STEL, short-term exposure limit, and threshold value. That is a limit of ppm for 8 hours working. It is safe. Why they should know it? Because there they will be facing all these chemicals and making other people who is working under him to know that these gases are very much dangerous, but they do not know. So they do not bother. If we have no knowledge about the hazard, the risk, the dangers, then what we will do? If a snack comes in front of a child of 6-month-old, what the child will do? Will you please tell? What the child will do if a snack is coming towards the child will not flee away. He will catch hold because he does not know what type of poison the snack has. The same type, if we are not knowing the danger, then we will be not taking any precautions. We will be child, and the risk around us, hazard around us will be snack. We will be playing with it. Right? So and schedule 3. Schedule 3 is list of occupational diseases. That are also 29 in numbers. Why I am telling only schedule 1, 2, 3? Because this is making the head of the department aware of what type of dangers they will be facing in our department, the persons working under him. So, if they understand the danger and hazards, then they will be guiding their persons, administrating their persons, their workers, their engineers, controlling their engineers, how to work safely. What is the value essence of work permit system? A system to be created, 7 rules says, this ensure HSE on machines, and ensure 5 says ensure safety system. So safety system, one system is work permit system. The height work was being shown. There is a height work permit. If anyone forgets something, if he uses the work permit, then everything is written there and nothing will be left. And I assure you, I am of the opinion, if we follow the work permit system in our working, any type of working, there are different type of work permit. We are operating 7, 8 type of work permit. So if we follow the work permit system, there every aspect has been written. The infrastructure we have to create, and we have to implement all those safety systems in our working. Nothing will happen. Nothing we will face bad. No harm will be created. That is guaranteed. Only the system has to be followed. But this system is violated because the person who is to lead the role, they are of the opinion that do the work. I want the work to be done in time, very less time, and production to be achieved in whatever less time possible. But they do not think that doing so, the production will not be achieved. The targeted production will not be achieved. It will be finally in a drastic situation we will be in if we do not follow the system. So the process safety at the workplace is very much essential, very, very essential. And the person who is getting the job done, supervisor, engineer, they should know what the technical solution is there. PPE is a very good thing, but it is said, we have been taught in our safety courses that PPE is a very, very essential thing, but it is not first thing. If 10 points are taken in safe procedure, safe working procedure, then PPE is the 10th point, last point. First is engineering control in process, in industries. You see very common process, common activity is going on, welding and gas cutting. Welding and gas cutting. Gas cutting with oxygen cylinders and LPG cylinder nowadays. Earlier it was DA, dissolved acetylene. Now it is LPG and oxygen. So yesterday I told pressure, temperature, volume flow. Then electrical side, you see current, voltage, and resistance. These 7, 6 parameters are only controlled in whole organization, in whole process. Industrial process, all type of production is achieved through controlling these parameters. That is pressure. If pressure is high, then it is dangerous. If pressure is low, it is dangerous. Optimum pressure we operate, it is okay. We are under 1 atmosphere of pressure, so we are okay. If pressure goes down, we will be in trouble. If pressure goes up, we will be in trouble. Likewise, flow, volume. Right. So why I am telling this? I am only making to understand that everywhere we have pressure flow in industry, we have pressure, volume, temperature, flow. Flow is volume per unit rate. So suppose oxygen cylinder is being used for cutting operation. Everywhere in Calcutta also, you will see the cutting operation is going on. But no one knows how much pressure is in oxygen cylinder. If pressure is high, then it is a bomb. But no one is, and if they are not knowing what is the pressure, then how it will be handled? You see the handling of the cylinders. The workers are handling it in any way. They throw it because they do not know what is the pressure inside the cylinder. If pressure is, you will be surprised to know, 150 kg per centimeter square. 150 kg per centimeter square pressure. We have no pressure vessel in the industries except 2-3 processes where we have 150 kg per centimeter square of pressure in a cylinder. So if cylinder is handled badly, it is a bomb. It is said that cylinder should be kept in vertical position and that too in secured condition, tied it. But people do not do it because they do not know what is the pressure. Likewise, if you see welding, a simple process is welding. Welders are not very much qualified. Now the IIT Institute are creating them. But you see the hazard of the welding. Yesterday, electrical session was there. In electrical, we will see that in confined spaces, it is told that 24 volt AC is only required to be taken in light. 24 volt. Why? Why 24 volt only? What will do 220? So it is simple formula that a body of human being can withstand only 30 milliamperes of current, because we are in a electrical scenario. Everywhere the electricity is going on. So maybe chances somewhere some short circuit and some leakage of current will take place. Right. So what is the maximum current limit which a body can withstand? So it is 30 milliampere. So if we go with 220 volt lamp in confined space, it will create, if somewhere leakage is there or short circuit is there, it will create 220 milliampere. Only thing, 220 volt, 220 milliampere. Formula is there, you will calculate it. So 220 volt milliampere, when it is created, and if any person come in contact with this, he will die. So 30 milliampere is established current by which a person can be saved. So the project is going on. All around the electrical cables are passing through. It is chances that somewhere it will get cut or short circuited or leaked. So how to save them? So take RCCB, that is residual current circuit breaker, with capacity of 30 milliampere tripping. Then 30 milliampere tripping is there. So whenever there will be a short circuit or leakage of current, that system will trip and people working around will be in contact with 30 milliampere only. So he will be saved. So why I have taken only two examples. One is gas cutting, and one is building. Common phenomena. Without this, no building can be constructed, no project can be constructed, nothing, no process will be handled, right? So where 30 milliampere in confined space also, if we go with 24-volt AC, the current will be leaked, or in short circuit, the current will be only 24 milliampere, and that is less than 30 milliampere. So it will be safer. Again, I think I am able to make you understand the shop floor people, the leaders, should be very much aware of their working system. Jack of all trades, but master of none will not work. We have to be master in our working, and then safety will take place, and then we will be able to achieve our vision zero. We should not do such a thing that it becomes zero my vision. No. Vision zero, then we have to be knowledgeable, and we should be. So I think my time is over. So I will tell only one thing, that whoever you are, wherever you are, you follow the system, take knowledge, और करने की इच्छा कुछ रखिए. हिंदी में गांधी जी के लिए कहा गया था कि चल परे जिधर दो डगमग में, चल परे कोटि पग उसी ओर, गर गई जिधर भी एक दृष्टि, गर गए कोटि दृक उसी ओर. थैंक यू. धन्यवाद.
Thank you, Mr. Singh, for sharing your valuable observations and your rich experience. Our next speaker is Professor Dr. Shubhashish Sahu, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Physiology, University of Kalyani, West Bengal. Professor Sahu is actively involved in research and consultancy in the field of ergonomics and occupational physiology. He has completed more than 20 research projects, including 4 multinational projects on chronology, chronobiology, ergonomics, respiratory physiology, and fuzzy analysis. Dr. Sahu.
Good afternoon. So in the morning, you have how you can change your mind, or you can regulate your mind, or how you can make your mind stress-free. So that session is lasting more than 1 hour. So I think I am requesting all of you to stand up, please, and try to pull your both hands like this way. Okay, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sit down, please. It is nothing but it is the stress of physical stress. If we sit in the same place for more than 1 hour, it will be postural stress. That is one aspect of the ergonomics. So coming to the main topic, that is the navigating mental health challenges, mainly the psychosocial challenges I will address. And here one thing is that before that, you know that pandemic, there are work from home, and this work from home is increased. And we are also now 50% not come up at that practice online meeting and other thing. Like here also, I think at least 4 or 5% will attending other meeting physically present here, but mentally they are somewhere else. So this is coming to the main thing, the Vision Zero. Here the main process is that we have to focus that there should be zero accident and zero health incident or any occupational health problem. So this thing you have seen last day many times, so I am not repeating that. But coming to the one thing is that is accident. When we think about the accident, I am taking a small story that during Second World War, it was seen that a lot of fighter pilot planes, after completing their mission, they make with some accident. Either they crash landed, or they put some other gear. So they have suffered from fatal injury. And that time, definitely the plane is costly, and the human resource, who is the pilot, they have to be trained for years for a pilot. You cannot train one pilot for one day and you will have the champion. Similarly, for the safety personnel, you cannot train one day and you will have a safety champion. It is not like that. It will take years to be an expert. So they try to find why this accident happened. Then it was seen, a multidisciplinary committee was trying to find out why this problem. Then they saw there are gap between different, like engineers, they do not know about the human capability and limitations. Like if you see in this cockpit, there are a lot of display. There are 70 display. So seeing in 1 second, it is not possible to read all the display, which was going wrong or what action to be taken. And there are other limitations also, like what is our dominant hand, how precisely we can work, we cannot work in the other hand. So this is a lot of human limitations, and there are mismatch between different disciplines. That's why the accident happened. So the thing is that we try to find what is the solution. Then some multidisciplinary approach came and the ergonomics came, and here there are different branches of ergonomics, but mainly the mental part or cognitive ergonomics I will discuss much more. And here the concept of a system, when the system is there are three components, man, machine, and environment. When that will be in synergy, then we can work it better. But if there is mismatch, there will be some accident, occupational health problem, and other thing. And here the main focus, obviously ergonomic focus, is design the job so that it should be fit to the worker, not worker fit to the job. So this is the other way. And here coming to the main. Next thing, it is coming to the occupational health. There are two components. One is physical health, and that is more visible compared to the other aspect is the mental health. But when we have to think that we have to totally, you have to think both mental and physical health together, and the performance or accident or productivity or occupational health problem, it is integrated. Unfortunately, mental health problem is very common, and you can see among 4 persons, 1 person is suffering some type of mental health problem. And hardly among these 4, 1 is detected, other are not able to understand or not there. And here coming to when we are making some standard or Vision Zero a universal, there is some problem, like human operators are flexible and adaptable. Any job or any hazard, how we can adapt that hazard or stress, that is varies from man to man. So it may be stressful to somebody, it may not stressful to somebody. Like here, if you see the temperature, maybe it is feeling cold, somewhere it is feeling comfortable, some it is feeling some more cold is required. So there is flexibility. And obviously there are large individual difference like physical size, strength, mental makeup, these are the things. And the other obvious difference like culture, style, level of skill. Obviously level of skill, it is one of the remedy is that we can train the people and we can improve the skill. That is one of the aspect to be achieve the Vision Zero. But the thing is the cultural and style difference, we have to be study more thoroughly, then we can regulate that thing. And change in the work pattern, like during COVID time, we have to work from home. And here now we have more digitalization, but the digitalization itself, when we use more screen or screen exposure time, will be also harmful. But as Professor Pingley is there, and he already mentioned that occupational health problem, it will occur not like accident. It is not instantly happen. It may take years together to see the effect. So we may sometimes ignore it or don't pay much attention about it. And there should be, so when we have to be concentrate on that, there should be some measurable objective, some research studies there. And during COVID-19, we'll see the only thing is that most of the work was stopped, and here the people work from home, and obviously the work from remote working increased from 27% to 51%, and still it is some industry, it is still continuing. So what is the problem? So one of our study or series of study, which is one of the best cited, the main, I'm not going to the each technical detail. When we are work from home or during COVID time, the main problem, it was seeing that there will increase health comorbidities, like whatever the secondary diseases like hypertension, diabetes, GI problem, this is increased. There is somatic increase in the somatic pain because people have to be sit in the same posture for a long time without any exercise, any movement. So somatic pain in different body parts increase. And depression. People are not, now people are less physically communicative, only they are busy with this chat and other things. So less personal touch. What I can tell that less personal touch, that will increase the depression or other symptom. And exposure to the screen, that is one of the things. Now we want to make everything digitized, but that will also have another health issues are coming in sleep. And that in this exposure screen time, but these things will cause the sleep disturbance and sleep quality, bedtime and wake up time hampered. And these are the, when the sleep is not proper, definitely other system is also not proper, and that will be lead to different metabolic disorders. So psychological consequences, inability to concentrate, boredom, tension, irritability, fatigue, anxiety, depression, and other things are there. And coming to the 7 golden rule, it was told many times. I am mainly focusing on this, the hazard identification. Like one is the psychosocial hazard, that is less less attention is given to the psychosocial hazards, but it is one of the important thing. And second thing is that implementation part. So ultimately, when we are coming to the implementation part, we should be in local based. We must consider the all expert and from all field. That is important. It is not anyone's job, because different aspect is there when we are thinking about the man, machine, and environmental interactive system. So psychosocial hazards, the worker failure to adapt the stressor, and like there is some frustration, insecurity, poor human relationship, lack of emotion, attention, and both physical and mental health of the worker will deteriorate, and that will definitely have the problem. And coming to our cognitive process, if you see the information, like now we have so many apps, lot of informations are there. But whatever information we are receiving, mainly we are receiving information from vision, but we are utilizing only few of them, means about only 5% or 2% information we are receiving. And whatever we are giving attention, and that information is processed, and obviously whatever in our mind, that only is processed, others are not processed, and based on that, our previous experience, obviously here training plays an important role. We take the decisions. So these are the main things. So if the information is there, don't take it granted that information is received. Like last 2 days, there are so many lectures, but retention capacity, I don't know how much everybody is able to retain. So it is not more than 10%. So whatever information is giving, we are not receiving, and ultimately based on that, the action is taken. So there are different controlling human conduct. There are capability, limitation, work environment, population stereotype. Different population has different aspects. Like we have some ideas, we follow that. Like if a switch is pushed downward, that means on, but it may be different in other places. So when we import a machine from other places, it may be during emergency, it may be cause disaster. And OVS training is one of the important thing, and biorhythm. We are not alert or not perceptive throughout the day, or especially in the night, our deterioration or attention deterioration occur. If you see the major accident like Bhopal gas tragedy or Chernobyl Island, all happened either in the late in the night or early in the morning. That time, if we see our psychological condition or alertness is least. That's why we have to be more precise, or more precautions should be taken at that period to avoid the accident or productivity. So these are the different categories. What are the psychological stressor in the job content, workload, work schedule, job control, physical environment, organization culture and function, interpersonal relationship, role of the organization, career development. I'm not going to the details because there are scarcity of the time. So in short, occupational stressors and their effect, you can see there are job demand, organization kind. Ultimately, what will be the symptom? If you see the physical symptom, there is raised BP, depression, mood, increased anxiety, irritability, increased risk and cardiovascular disease and other diabetes and metabolic disorder. And what you can identify, like there is high absenteeism, there will be high staff turnover, poor morale, reduced safety, and reduce operational capacity. These are the things. And if we see the error, like we can generally say the UNSEP Act. UNSEP Act also can be divided. It may be intentional, it may be unintentional. Unintentional, it may be slip, it may be lapse, it may be mistake, maybe rule-based, maybe knowledge-based, maybe memory failure, maybe attention failure. Rule-based and knowledge-based, you can rectify by training. But this attention failure or memory failure, that we have to think more whether it is beyond our capacity or not. And like unintentional, there will be violation, maybe routine violation. People used to work culture, people used to do that. So that have to be stopped. In the work culture, you have to be more safety culture. Maybe some exceptional, in that particular day, he is not have some emergency, he is doing that. That can be tolerated. Maybe situational, or maybe act of sabotage. That should be, we have to be more precaution have to be taken about that act of sabotage. And work from home, actually from the pandemic, when the work from home is coming, it is the consequences like inadequate sleep, irregular sleep pattern, doziness, insomnia, obesity, indigestion, ocular problem, and musculoskeletal problem. These are the main thing. We'll see that if we can extensively now the practice after pandemic, the work from home practice is there. So these are the problems. And when we use different posture, when we work from home, proper posture is not maintained, ergonomic posture is not maintained, and ultimately result, you can see there is increase in the somatic pain. And risk factor about there are lighting and glare, there will be long distance between eyes and monitor, and fluorescent light, prolonged period of extended working hours, no fixed timing, and these are the other aspects that is going on. And another thing is that obviously we have already learned about the different hazards from different chemicals. And these chemicals also cause some behavioral toxic effect, like many toxins like heavy metals, mercury, lead, manganese, organic solvent, they have some neurotoxin, and long exposure can cause the toxicity behavioral change. So that is also important thing. And sometimes we change in the work method. We thought that if we change, like if you see this is a goldsmith. Goldsmith, previously lead is used as soldering material, jointing material, but lead is very toxic. So they replace it with cadmium. Now you can say that cadmium gold or some. So cadmium is very easy to get back the gold. You just make the heat it will be evaporate and you can get the gold back. But the problem is that they are working in a very confined work. So there is no ventilation. So ultimately effect, you can see there will be increase in the oxidative stress, and you can see from one of our study shows that there will be crenation in the RBC membrane. So in long run, that will cause the problem or health problem. So when we are replacing and we are inviting other hazards, like in this bottle, plastic bottle, previously BPA, bisphenol A is used in this bottle, and this bisphenol A is toxic. So now it is banned. Now they are using the bisphenol S, but bisphenol S also have some similar toxicity. So when you are replacing, it need more research, whether it is how much toxic or what is the latency. So what will be the solution? Definitely, we need individual assessment and research and better workplace and work procedure to minimize the work-related stress and fatigue, reduce, and it will ultimately reduce the possibility of human error and wrong decision, and prevent occupational disease such as musculoskeletal problem. And here we can contribute and produce workplace accident and industrial things. So we have to look for sustainability, and more participatory approach is required. It is not only to top to bottom, because worker also have to know about that. And for the informal sector, some low cost or no cost intervention is required, because if it is a costly or very strong legislative is there, it is very difficult for them. Ultimately, they will shut down. So we have to think about some low cost implementation, proper regulation, and safety culture. And more basic research and innovation is there. And obviously, we neglect the biorhythm. We have to be about the safety part. Biorhythm is one of the important thing, and individual difference is there, and multidisciplinary and holistic approach is required. So all discipline have to come together to find out the solution. It is not one discipline job. So that is very, very much important. Otherwise, if it is only top to bottom approach, here you can see one example. It is much better workstation is given for him to make this. It is in India called samosa, but you will see ultimately the result. So if we cannot consider or take the worker into the confidence and feedback from them, it is very difficult to implement anything, especially in unorganized sector. So thank you. So if you have any question, I am glad to answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Shubhashish Sahu. He's the Associate Professor and Head Department of Physiology, University of Kalyani. With this, we end our first plenary session. We would now like to present mementos to our speakers who have joined us today. And to do the honors, may I request Mr. Virendra Prasad Singh to hand over the mementos first to Dr. Shivaji Bhattacharjee. You have a question, sir? Okay. Absolutely. Please go ahead, sir. Since we are running short of time, please go ahead. All right.
Yeah, I can wait. I am not in a hurry.
Thank you so much, sir, for being with us today. Sir, could you please also kindly present the memento to Professor Shahu? Thank you, Dr. Shahu. All right, sir, please go ahead.
First of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Sahu and other speaker also for the wonderful presentations. And when you spoke from your own studies and experience, it was really wonderful. I'm very happy that I could attend your session. My comment is rather, there are many agents at the workplace which also affect our mental thinking. It's not only the situation, but they have a chemical effect on our brain. Like they have a reproductive effect, they also have chemical effect on our brain, and they may also lead to confused mind and other things. So that's why it is very essential for people to know what could be the effects or what could be the side effects of these things. So anything has been done in that regard for the small sector, because large sector will hopefully do that, though they may not. But small sector, somebody needs a guide. You're right.
Thank you. Actually, this when we think about the human, it is very complicated thing, both mentally and physically. Like same person, like take a simple example, making a tea. Okay, if you take same means here outside, take tea 5 times, you will see 3 times is good, 1 time you may not like. But same person is making on almost same way. So based on his mood, his fatigue, and your perception, everything change. So mental aspects in the productivity, thinking, or receptive of the other clues or instruction or mind agility, whether we are perceptive or not. These many things depend. Obviously, there are a lot of things, environmental air quality, other toxicant, and some have long time effect. Like now we have digitization. We have we are using more screen time, and this screen time, we are almost everybody is using the mobile phone or laptop. But there is no limit, means how much time we should use this, or we must expose the what is called as threshold limit value, TLV of screen time exposure is not yet established, or we are not thinking about that, but definitely it was there. Because when we are using some gadgets, electronic gadgets, our brain activity, as you know that very well, that our brain activity is very much engaged. That's why it is quick learning process is there, but most of the blood or most of the oxygen, most of the metabolization is occurred due to that. So we'll be exhausted very early. And other part of our body is not get sufficient replenishment or nutrition and other things. And that will affect, like if you have the screen time, it will affect the your sleep. So total thing is your body system will be hampered. So this is the something it is coming in your future. You will see it is also means screen time exposure. We have to limit that thing, and we will have some occupational health problem. Definitely we will have. And as a specialist, you have to handle that. Thank you for your question.
Thank you so much. I would also like to point out to everyone that there are things like high noise. The first effect of high noise is irritation. We feel that a particular worker is fatter. He every time comes and fights. He is not in good mood. And we think that their people nature is like that and people ignore him. But that is not the case. The noise, high noise, irritates you. You become irritable. And that irritableness may lead to anxiety. It may lead to even blood pressure and other problems. So that should be known and we should act accordingly. Thank you.
Last question, Dr. Shivaji and Professor. I'd like to know a bit more about climate impact on the brain. Young people are more eco-anxious, and workers have difficulty to work because of heat and humidity. and climate hazard. So plastic pollution impacts the brain too. Microplastic, air pollution impacts the brain, impacts the lung. There's more and more lung cancer, especially for young people. So what is your view, systemic view, systemic approach on not worker health only, but everybody health? So can you give me your highlight?
Okay, so actually your question is little bit big. One thing is that how we can control. First thing is that some is the organizational control and some is our individual control. I am taking about the individual control. Like we are very much addicted to the screen time. Like you have the phone, so every 5 minutes you will see whether any message is coming or not. And here in some obviously some good organization, they have some pop-up like Wipro and other thing. They have some pop-up in the screen every 20 minutes there is pop-up for 20 seconds you have to go, or every hour you have to go out. But the thing is that when the people are not aware about the thing, after 1 hour definitely they stand up from their desk, but they take up his mobile phone and ask, means keep on the chatting. So that repetitiveness and other thing is carry on. So that awareness is required, more physical activity is required, and we have to reduce the screen time exposure, we have to limit that. And second, coming to the microplastic, actually it is a global problem. So different, from shampoo to different packing material, microplastic is there. So we have to have some sustainable development environmental goal. We have to replace the microplastic because it is life, its life is so long, at least 50, 60 years, it is not destroyed. It will remain in the environment. So we have to reduce that thing. We have to some habit about the reuse the thing much more. So this is for that, but it is not so easy, or it is one day job or one person job. It is, we have to collectively work together for the sustainable development goal to reduce the microplastic or other means.
Thank you,
So
sir.
this is short your answer. Thank you.
Would Dr. Bhattacharjee add something to this?
Just in short, that what this gentleman is talking about, the eco-anxiety, means what is happening worldwide now. The amount of increase in the pollution level is also affecting our brain system, also our thoughts. So collectively, we have to do a change about that. What Dr. Sahu has said, that plastic. Similarly, I was thinking about the container, the fruit juice, what we used to have earlier, used to have the plastic straw. Now government are implementing, changing the plastic straw to a paper straw. So things are happening. It will take little time, but it will happen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. We have a few more mementos that we would like to present, and to do the honors, may I request Dr. Aslan to please come up on stage and present the mementos. Thank you, respected speakers. We conclude the plenary session for now, and we'll take a short tea break, and we'll join after 15 minutes. After 15 minutes for the thematic session 2, site safety, addressing falls and fire hazards. Thank you so much.
is the most viable fuel for driving economic growth in India. Coal meets almost half of the country's primary commercial energy needs and helps generate around 70% electricity in India. It also fuels many non-power industries. Coal India Limited, the largest coal mining company in the world, contributes to over 80% of India's entire coal production and meets over 50% of the country's domestic and 40% of primary commercial energy needs of India. It is also one of the largest corporate employers, formed in November 1975. Coal India Limited is a Maharatna company, a privileged status conferred by the Government of India to only 10 select state-owned enterprises out of more than 300 central public sector enterprises in the country. Coal India Limited functions through 10 fully owned subsidiary companies spread over 8 states and a foreign subsidiary named Coal India Africana Limitada in Mozambique, Africa. Coal India is also focused on environment, social and governance initiatives. The company has a well-documented CSR policy and it is one of the largest CSR spenders in the country. The CSR
So kindly come back so that we will have the next session start. My request to all our colleagues here. Very interesting thing you know about the agronomics, because agronomics, what Professor Subhasis have said, it's very, very important. After COVID situation, this mental stress is growing. So that's why we included this subject. It is applicable to all countries now. Kindly come back. So we'll start the session. Kindly take your seats. We'll start. So you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I please have your attention? We are about to start the thematic session, so I would request everyone to come inside and take their seats, please. I wish to request our respected speakers for the thematic session to kindly take their seats on the dais. Dr. Azlan Daris, Head Division of Prevention, Medical and Rehabilitation, Perkizo, Malaysia. Dr. Azlan, can we please have you on the dais? We are indeed honored to have with us Mrs. Sharmishta Ghosh Bhattacharya, Joint Labour Commissioner, Government of West Bengal. Welcome, ma'am, to the International Conference on Vision Zero. Kindly take your place on the dais. May I now request Ms. Petra Jackish, Head of International Affairs, Department of DGUV Cooperation, BGBAU, and Secretary General ESA Construction, to please join us on the dais. I would request Mr. Jasbir Singh, Honorary Secretary, Malaysian Society for Occupational Safety and Health, to join us on the dais. Next, I wish to request Dato Kanga Raja Raman, President, Malaysian Occupational Safety and Health Practitioners, to please come up on the dais and take his seat. I would request Mr. Animesh Pramanik, Assistant Director of Factories, Government of West Bengal, to please come up on the dais. All right. So, welcome speakers to the thematic session, Site Safety, Addressing Falls and Fire Hazards. We wish to commence today's thematic session with the introduction of the theme by the moderator, Dr. Darius. Dr. Darius, kindly introduce today's theme.
Thank you. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope coffee was good. Meditation was good as well this morning. And we are all fresh for our last session of the day before we wrap up, and everybody will go back with a new mindset or a retained mindset of Vision Zero. So the last session that we're going to have is on addressing falls and fire hazards. And the reason why we have this session is actually because of the many or few reports of incidents that's been happening in India that we think it is useful for us to discuss the matter and link it to the golden rules of Vision Zero. We have we have a good line of speakers here today, both from Malaysia, India, as well as the DGUV. And I'm sure everyone will enjoy and get a lot of learning points from our next presentations. Before we start, perhaps it is very useful for us to have a special address by the Joint Labour Commissioner of the Government of West Bengal. So I would like to pass the mic now to Mrs. Samista Ghosh Bhattacharya for her address. Thank you.
Great. See you very nicely.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your nice introduction. Good afternoon, everybody. I offer my respectful pranam to all the revered and eminent personalities and the dignitaries from our country and abroad. In the first session, already Dr. Bhattacharya have guided us how to chant the mantra, Om Mantra. I am requesting all of you to please close your eyes. Om. Lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. Lead us from ignorance to knowledge. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you. I would like to convey my sincere thanks and regards to Bharat Chamber of Commerce for inviting me and giving me this rare opportunity to utilize this platform to share my thoughts and views on the global project Vision Zero. I would like to convey my special thanks to the organizers, DGUV, and all other organizers for bringing down the program to make it a great success, grand success rather. Vision Zero. Vision Zero is a concept or a process rather than a target. When we think of the Vision Zero, the feeling of emptiness or voidness come into our mind. And when the feeling of voidness and emptiness come in your mind, we reach at 0 point. And at that 0 point, we can start our journey. Starting point may differ, but we have to reach the same destination. Our path, journey of our path may be different, but we have to reach the same destination. Vision Zero. Vision Zero means zero accidents, zero injuries, zero diseases, zero fatalities. It's a global initiative which was taken around the world back in 2014, almost a decade ago. Gradually, it has been sprouted in the year 2019, and then in 2024, it is going to be a tree. And we hope if we sincerely effort on this, if we continue our consistent effort and endeavor on this, then we can achieve grand success on this Vision Zero objective. First of all, this Vision Zero, now we should start that it's a concept we need to cultivate all around the world. And the world, it's a global initiative for safety and health, our well-being. Safety. Now we all need to focus on safety. Safety pays a lot. Now we need to focus on occupational safety. Already you have learned, or you were guided our earlier speakers, the occupational safety, its hazards. The human existence, wherever you are, or whoever you are, or whatever you are, whether we are delivering our speech, whether you are sitting and listening to our speech, we are having an occupation, and that occupation is also having some kind of hazard. So our target or objective, how to ensure that occupational safety, how to remove that occupational safety, how to ensure that occupational safety, the age-old principle, we need to adopt the 3H formula. Head for knowledge and skill, heart for our emotions of the well-being and values, and hand or habits for contribution and participation. A 3H principle, if we adopt this 3H principle, then we can contribute towards our assignment, towards our society, towards ourselves, more better way. Better productivity, we can get better productivity, better performance, and with higher efficiency, higher effectiveness. So the win-win situation prevails there. And happiness persists in our mind, and therein evolves the happiness-based economy, which is really will be an enriching experience for everyone. Happiness-based economy. So we have to prevail that happiness. We have to cultivate. We have to create the safe working environment. So whenever we are, wherever we are, we feel safe, and we have to feel safe from within, from our inner being, which is essentially required for our well-being. All human beings are in some kind of occupation, whether you are in gainful employment or not, but the occupation is not set for the fixed group of people, it's for all. So if we impart some kind of training, how to remove the hazards and how to ensure the occupational safety, then accidents, injuries, diseases are preventable. So but we have to adopt the preventive measures in the rightful manner. So only then safe work environment prevails. So what we all need that transformational approach, and it can be done by imparting training, workshop, seminar, conference, and all these things. If we remember Maslow's hierarchy of needs, at the bottom we find the first needs come the physiological needs, the needs for our survival. After the fulfillment of needs, then the safety and security needs comes. And this safety and security, if we ensure this safety, then comes the our love or belonging, the values or emotions of our well-being comes. And after fulfillment of these needs, the self-esteem comes. Self-esteem, after realization of self-esteem, the most creative and the most important intellectually oriented self-actualization needs at the top of the pyramid. So this Maslow's hierarchy of needs, these are also based on the safety, in our safety. In this aspect, we like to trust on the 7 golden rules on Vision Zero. First comes leadership, and then hazards, then target, number 3, number 4, self-esteem, number 5, technology, 6, competence, and then pupil. All these 7 golden rules, all these components are inherently related to safety, health, and well-being. So if we focus on these 3 cardinal points, then we can achieve anything and everything. Being the officials of Labour Commissionerate, we work together with all stakeholders. Our key role is to restore or maintain industrial peace and harmony. So we are playing the instrumental role in the industrial relations. That is also possible when we are mediating any dispute, industrial dispute. We are always trying to ensure our guarantee for a fair and equitable work environment or equitable justice for the employer and employee, between employer and employee. But being the officials of Labour Commissionerate, we are just concerned with security, but the safety and security, those 2 terms are very inseparable from each other. So if we can provide safety, if we can provide security, safety inherently, it comes in our mind. Besides industrial relations, enforcement of various labor laws, we are providing social security. Labour Department, Government of West Bengal is presently implementing 5 social security schemes. Firstly, already you have learned these schemes earlier on the earlier occasion. FAULOI, financial assistance to the locked out industries, and the next one, BMSSY, Binamulya Samajik Suraksha Yojana, for providing provident fund, transport workers welfare scheme, and for construction workers who are working in the construction site, especially for the workers who are engaged in unorganized sector, who are not covered under any statute. So Government of West Bengal is providing some sort of financial assistance and psychological security to this kind of people, so that they can work more peacefully. And in that way, we can contribute security as well as safety towards the approach our Vision Zero. But now our time is very precious and short, so I would like to conclude the utterance of the great master of our motherland, Swamiji. Do whatever you are doing, do with greatest possible attention. So practice the smallest and start with the easiest. So today, if we are taking the smallest and the easiest step, it would become a giant leap for tomorrow. So let there be light in our mind, and let our mind be enlightened, so that we can glorify this Vision Zero project and contribute more towards the fulfillment of our objective. It's a wonderful experience to deliver speech before you. So thank you. Thanks to all.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It is a very, very interesting and it is a very important message that we know now that the government of West Bengal is in support of Vision Zero, not only in her speech, but also in the resources that she just mentioned to be allocated to assist workers to be safe and healthy at workplace. So please give another round of applause to Madam Sarmishta Ghosh Bhattacharya. Thank you, Madam, for that arousing speech. So now let's get back and talk about the falls and fire hazards, and definitely we'll start with the construction industry. Therefore, to tell us about Vision Zero in construction industry, let us welcome Ms. Petra Jakish, Head of International Affairs, Department of DGUV Corporation of the BG BAU, and also the Secretary General for the ISA section on prevention in construction. Thank you. Yes, everyone.
So good afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Aslan, for the introduction. When you introduced this session, you already mentioned that the construction industry and the fire hazards have been chosen for this session because of a lot of different incidents in the recent past. And I brought some pictures which show that construction sites are really the most important or most dangerous working places that you can find very often, especially with regard to our today's topic, with regard to fall hazards as well. So there's a lot of different situations where you can see that people are really at a risk. And construction work differs a lot from other workplaces because there is a constant change at construction sites. Today, the construction site will look completely differently from yesterday and from tomorrow. And so people have to adapt every day. There is a lot of subcontracting going on, and this also causes a lot of problems because companies have to work together and find solutions together, although they normally do not really speak together about planning of the construction site. And in construction sites, we very often have the workforce coming from a lot of different countries, from a lot of different places. And so it's also sometimes difficult to speak to each other in order to find solutions on occupational risks. The accident figures show that or reflect that. And these are figures from Germany, which says that 29% of all accidents are due to falls from a height, and this is quite a high number. But I know that this is not only true for Germany, but it applies to almost all countries in the world. The statistics are sometimes a little bit different, but the figures are basically the same all over the world, and that shows us that we really have to do something about the fall risk. The most important workplaces where you can find fall hazards are roofs, ladders, and scaffolds. And here again, you can see that the fatal work accidents due to falls from height are very high. And so we make it one of our priorities. And again, some examples where you can see that you can very easily fall from the edge, that you can very easily fall through the holes in the ceiling or in the floor at this stage of construction. In order to show you also some other pictures, it's not only India or developing countries where we find hazards. This picture is from Germany, and it shows very clearly you shouldn't use a ladder like that. And again, some more examples about scaffolding, which we really have to have a look at. So now, how do we implement Vision Zero in the construction industry? Dr. Aslan said, I'm also the General Secretary of the ISA construction section. And in this section, we adopted the Vision Zero strategy. But with regard to the 7 golden rules, we added to these 7 golden rules and the checklists that ISA provides for the different industries, because we tried to really put in as well some aspects about what I just told you about, the difficulties with subcontracting, the changing working conditions, and so on. So our checklists are a little bit extended, and these are specially available for the construction industry. Then in our section, we also try to collect best practice examples from all over the world. And here we have them all on our website. And here we've got just one example about best practices about ladders, which was developed by Kosha from South Korea. And there is a description about a fall hazard with ladders. And they introduced or invented a specific ladder that offers you safer workplaces. And we try to publish those in order to then also make sure that everyone can adopt these new practices, if possible, at their own national levels. Then what we also did in the ISA construction section together with ILO is developing the Prevention Through Pictures booklet. Mr. Sahu was elaborating on it earlier on this morning. This was developed by the construction section because of the difficulties which we always face with regard to different languages, and a lot of people don't understanding each other at the workplaces, but it's easy to see what is wrong and how I should do it right. So these are just some of the main priorities in the ISA construction section. Now I also brought you some examples from BG Bau, the German social accident insurance in the construction industry where I work, because we in BG Bau also implement these measures. And our basic rules for the construction industry that we publish at BG Bau is what we call our building blocks. And this is a booklet which gives you very short and brief summarized information about all the rules and regulations that you have to implement for different working procedures of different types of equipment. It's always on one or a maximum of 2 pages where you can see all you need to know about specific working situations. And linked with that, there are also some pictures very close to what we have in the Prevention Through Pictures booklet from ILO and ISA, which shows, again, this is where you should say, stop, don't do it at a workplace, and this is how you should work. And there are examples like here for roofs, other examples where you can see how you should approach the edge of a roof, for example. And also here again, an example with ladders. With regard to ladder safety, BG Bau as well is working on making the regulations better in Germany. We say you shouldn't use a ladder with rungs, but you should have steps. You should have a podium where to stand on, and you should stabilize the position of the ladders at every stage. And here BG Bau has got a special contribution for our members, because when people choose to buy this equipment, which may be a little bit more expensive than the normal equipment if you choose the cheapest option, we give a financial incentive for our members to make really sure that this equipment gets more and more accepted at the workplaces. And we have the same, for example, for scaffolds, where we promote the leading site protection from level to level to make sure that the persons standing on the highest level are also protected at every time. These are just some examples with regard to falls from a height. We've got numerous more examples, but this is something to really make companies aware of what they need to do and how they could improve safety on their construction sites. Then at BG Bau, we've got something which we call Bau auf Sicherheit, Bau auf dich. And this is actually the BG Bau program, which is the implementation of Vision Zero. We call it differently, but this is basically what we do in order to make Vision Zero come true for Germany and for German companies. And here we've got a lot of different training modules and offers how people can be made aware of what they need to do, where the risks are, how they should work. And here, for example, there is a picture where you can pick out different areas at the construction site. And if you pick out one of them, you can see what should I do, where are different fall hazards with edges, and where do I have to say stop? What do I have to do in order to offer safe work? And you can then see the different areas. And there are some questions asked to the one using the interactive safe building site module by saying, here are the pictures of the different hazards. And on the right-hand side, then you see the green options, what you could do, and you are then asked to allocate the right solutions to the right situations. Another thing which is included in there is pictures where the question is asked to where are the risks? And you can look at the various situations here, and you can see that there are a lot of risks at this building when construction work is going on. And you actually are asked as a user then to pick out where all the hazards are. And you are then given the opportunity to really learn from it. And it's all basically without a lot of language, so that everyone can really learn from it, get an awareness of the risks, say stop if something is going wrong at the workplace, and try to improve the working conditions at the construction site then. So everyone really contributes. It's not only relying on legislation, it's not only relying on the company owner or the manager to tell you what to do, but it's about yourself as well. You should know what you have to do in order to work safely and to make Vision Zero at construction sites come true. So there are a lot of those things which we develop, and this is one of the aspects of how we implement Vision Zero. And then from yesterday, I also brought some more points because Dr. Sen was talking yesterday about BIM being used for making sure that there is the right equipment available at workplaces, and the building modeling is normally very often only used for logistics and for making sure that the material is available at the construction site or at a workplace in general. But we try to introduce a module of fall protection as well, where when the BIM managers use the modeling in order to look at what is happening at their construction site, they are made aware of the red places. There are fall hazards there, and they should really be made aware that they have to implement measures in that area. So we try to integrate the different types of work in order to make everyone feel where they need to take measures. Then yesterday, again, we talked a lot of new technologies and the use of new technologies. And in our training, we also use virtual reality. We've got virtual reality modules where people can really experience and feel what they need to do. They can see or feel how it is standing at the edge of a building 20 meters above ground. And so people will be made aware and become more careful at construction sites. I actually, in the beginning, had a short video about it with me, but because of the constraints of time, I don't want to show it now, but we will do, you will be able to get all this material from our website, so this makes it easier. Why did I give you all the examples of what BG Bau is doing in order to make Vision Zero work in Germany? I'm sure it's not only in Germany that we are thinking about all these measures, and we are inventing more and more aspects and offer material not only in Germany, but all over the place. You could see that we offer the material in different languages as well, but you are doing exactly the same in your countries. It's not only one country who that knows it all or develops it all, but we all need to work together. And that brings me back to one point which was mentioned by Dr. Felten yesterday in his presentation. BG Bau is trying to make up a huge platform using artificial intelligence as well, which offers all this material to everyone so that you can pick out what you need. And this is not only intended to be a national thing, but we also want to introduce it together with our partners in India to develop it further so that everyone can bring in their different ideas and the different things they have on offer so that then everyone can get the safest solutions for their construction sites in order to prevent not only fall hazards, but also fall hazards. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Petra. We shall reserve the questions to the last. We shall reserve the questions until the end. Okay, so please have a seat again. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Vision Zero in construction industry. We need to look at golden rule number 1 now, to take leadership, safety regulations, and compliance in construction sites. To give us an insight on this, let us welcome Mr. Jasbir Singh. Mr. Jasbir is the Honorary Secretary of the Malaysian Society for Occupational Safety and Health. So, Mr. Jasbir,
Yes, ma'am.
please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Aslan. My colleagues will tell you that it is very dangerous to give me a microphone because I talk too much. However, I'm quite excited today to talk a little bit about some changes that are taking place in my country that I think will be relevant for Take One leadership. Let me quickly jump into them. But a quick plug, I'm from the Malaysian Society for Occupational Safety and Health, and we are the oldest and largest society of OSH practitioners in Malaysia. And the reason I said that is because I just wanted to emphasize how we've been working very closely with organizations, especially PERCESO, to support many initiatives. And I think the point here is that the fact that, we've got the Chamber of Commerce, we've got practitioners. The nice thing about Vision Zero is how it's managed to bring together a lot of stakeholders to work together in achieving our goal of making workplaces safer. The only statistic that I'm going to talk about, we've worked really hard in Malaysia over the years, but if you look at the red table on the left, the biggest number there is 72, and that's construction deaths. And if you look at the table on the right, that's total number of accidents, and the construction is the second bar. So we still have quite a bit of work to do. In 2022, we had 72 deaths among a population of 1.1 million. I know this is India and the number seems really small, But in our country, that's way too many, because the only acceptable number of deaths in construction is 0, right? That's our vision. So there have been improvements, but there's still much to be done. And one of the most exciting things that's happened recently is the amendment to our Occupational Safety and Health Act. And it's exciting because that's the first time that our government has actually revised the law. And in many ways, I think it's aligned with the goal of Vision Zero, which is to focus on prevention. So historically, we've had a very prescriptive legal system. We had a Factories and Machineries Act that gave very detailed instructions on how to manage safety, what are the expectations, what are the do's and don'ts. And that sort of created a very narrow mindset in terms of managing construction safety. People tended to use that as an encyclopedia and as an instruction book. And it sort of constrained people's ability to look at new ways of doing things. So apart from a major change in terms of how the law is written now, we've also had another interesting change for a Commonwealth country where we have adopted the principles of prevention. So in the past, we tended to look only in certain directions in trying to put together our legislation. But I think we've made a major step forward by including the principles of prevention. So there's going to be quite a bit of work involved in getting that idea across. And of course, strengthening of self-regulation and the creation of new roles and accountabilities to promote safety ownership. So one of the things that seems to be happening is that there is a shift towards prevention through design and prevention through planning. And that's going to be quite clear in the coming 2 or 3 years as they roll out additional regulations to support construction and other activities. So when I talked about alignment with Vision Zero, if you look at the 7 golden rules, the first one here is take leadership. That's something that we are starting to see in the new regulation that they have come up, where there's a bit of a nudge, if I were to use a polite word, towards developing leadership in prevention. So we all know that, some people say leadership is an innate quality, but I've experienced from raising 3 kids that leadership is also something that you can nudge people towards. Or occasionally with my youngest daughter, it's a push. But everybody can show leadership, and that's something that we really want to push through our Vision Zero program. So clearer accountabilities to drive leadership, that's something that we are beginning to see happening. And another important one is that safety planning starts at the beginning. So we are sort of changing the goalposts, changing the milestones, and working towards getting the safety elements in place and planned out right before they start clearing the site for construction. And of course, there's the more emphasis on health, and risk assessments have become mandatory in my country. It is mandatory to conduct risk assessments for work. So, as I said earlier, the Factories and Machineries Act is gone. It was there since the 60s. There are new regulations that have come out and are going to come out, and these are going to push for self-regulation and create new roles. We're starting to see the role of privatization. So there's greater industry engagement in maintaining safety, especially for machinery. And there are a lot of people who are asking, what do we do? What is expected of us? How do we deal with these changes? And I think that's where Vision Zero work is just beginning in Malaysia. We've got a lot of stakeholders involved. We've got a lot of companies that are involved, and they are all going to be turning towards the content and the effort that we have put in developing Vision Zero to drive their workplace safety programs. So I think there's a lot of interesting stuff to do. Leadership through accountability. Malaysian legislation now has this idea called principal. Principal is basically the first person you look for when something happens. That's the person who's ultimately accountable. And from there, they've sort of come up with a method of distributing that accountability through the system, so that it's easier for people to know who is responsible for what and what are the roles expected of them. And we all know, when we saw the picture from Jackie just now of the construction site, sometimes trying to figure out who is in charge of what at a construction site is just like looking at that picture, isn't it? Because there are layers and layers of people involved. There are contractors and subcontractors and self-employed people. So there are a lot of, there's a lot of confusion. We've also strengthened our employee rights. So people can now say, I'm not going to do that because that's too dangerous. And that I think is going to stir up a lot of conversation and create that push for employers to take into account the safety of their workers. Now, this one's interesting. Construction work, design and management. This is the first of probably a few regulations that are coming out. And this is replacing a previously very prescriptive regulation that we had to run construction, to manage construction. So this one is focused on leadership, compliance, and proactive management. Those are the three key things that they are looking at. And we've also expanded it to include domestic clients. Previously, there was a bit of a gray area. If I demolish my house and I'm putting up a 4-story building, how does the law apply and who's accountable and who's responsible? All of that has been clarified now. And of course, you've got your minimum standards for facilities and safe work practices at sites. How does it work? Clients now have complete responsibility for safety, and they are required to decide if they want to delegate that or not. If they do, then they must appoint key roles that are responsible for safety during pre-construction and construction phases. That's a major shift because there's now a requirement for you to think about safety and prevent things from happening and plan ahead. If you fail to do so, then everything falls on your shoulder. So that's a very clear expectation that the law states. And clients must allocate all the different requirements that are needed, stay involved, and demonstrate some initiative on their part to ensure that safety is maintained. So you can pass the buck, but you have to keep an eye on the money and the work that's involved. We've introduced these two key roles, principal designer and principal contractor, people who plan and people who do. So the idea here is that we want the people who plan and the people who do to start incorporating safety and safety requirements right from the beginning during the pre-construction phase, and then that information gets handed over to the relevant parties as things go along. So these are the two documents that are now mandatory and required. You need to have a construction phase plan and a health and safety file that these two PICs are supposed to develop. And the law is very clear now in terms of what their responsibilities are. So it becomes a lot easier for the authorities, for the people who are involved in construction to know who are going to define what is expected of them, what are the health and safety requirements, what are the designs and the plans that are already there so that they can comply with the requirements. And then there's always a catch-all, authorities love their catch-alls. But the catch-alls here are interesting because they are designed towards developing a safety culture, which is another thing that our authorities are very keen to develop. So where does Vision Zero fit in? I think we've done some work, and Jackie shared some information earlier about how Vision Zero supports construction. I think there's still a lot of work to be done, and there's probably a lot more material that we can develop. We do need more outreach programs and collaboration, and we need to expand our depth of engagement. There are lots of small contractors out there that are going to be affected by the changes, and many of them have no idea what health and safety is. The material that we have developed has been really useful. Checklists are really useful. So if we increase our engagement and our outreach, I think we can do a lot more than what we have already achieved. I think you guys saw yesterday, Mr. Harun shared the stuff that we've already done with SMEs. If we continue that effort, I think we can make a huge difference over the next 5-10 years in improving construction safety. 72 is 72 too many, right? So this is a simple chart that I created just to simplify it for you. So you've got your compliance obligations at the top. Client has to appoint a principal designer and a principal contractor. And these guys have to come up with a health and safety file and a construction phase plan, and then use that to manage the safety of the project. And I think that's where the Vision Zero program is a great enabler, a game changer in some ways, because the material and the effort that we've got can really make a difference to the multiple layers that we are looking at in the graph. So in summary, Regulatory changes have happened in Malaysia and are going to happen over the next 2 years. And the focus is on prevention. The idea is to identify and in some ways to not do the risk assessment and the risk control after the project has started, but rather to leave only the residual risk to manage when the construction actually begins. That's a bit of a leap for us. And we think that's something that Vision Zero program can really support in the coming years. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Jasbir Singh. So it goes without saying that leadership is important, whether it's the government or the company. So leaders must lead, but must also be seen to be leading. Let's talk a little bit more technical now into the fall protection systems and safety measures. And for this, may I invite Datuk Kanagaraja Raman, who is the president of the Malaysian Occupational Safety and Health Practitioners Association. Yep.
Namaskar. I think being one of the last speaker, I think I'm privileged because I don't have to go on to more technical things because yesterday and today there were a lot of speakers, pronounced speakers have spoken all about the safety, like a chemical spillage or factory side, oil and gas and all that. So now for me is given a chance to talk about the fall protection. Before that, I could introduce myself. I am Datuk Kana, who worked in the Twin Tower in Kuala Lumpur, which was built in 1994, tower which was 561 meters. So it was not only one tower, it was two towers together. And constructing a tallest building at that time with workers, each tower having 3,500 workers and one more tower having 3,500 workers. Imagine the precautions which we have to take. This is a physical experience I can share with you all when we were doing on a Tower 1. Tower 1 was constructed by a Japanese contractor and they were very stringent on safety. While we are working, in fact, myself, I was at around the 60th floor. That time, even workers are working, or we give them all the advice, everything, and then full equipments and all. But at that time, it was not the full harness working on top. So we just provide them with the safety belt. Even with the safety belt, we ensure that every worker, most of our workers from Indonesia, they are hooked to the working platforms or whichever lifeline there. And when I was working with few guys working, and it was at the 60th floor, while working, we make sure that as a safety officers, we make sure that they hook to the lifeline. And this guy was working and suddenly, people make mistake. As you all know, everybody make mistake. And there was a slip on him and he fell. Luckily, he was using just a harness. Not a full harness, but just a harness. And his life was saved because he was hanging like that. He was making a noise and we all rushed to him and saved him. So without that belt, he would have come down. Imagine, it was 561 meters. At that time, I think we were almost about 400 over meters. He would have just fallen down, but we still saved him. The harness was dangling and then he had all the pains. But after that, we went on with the full harness. Full harness is very much secured. So this is my physical experience. But finishing that project, I went to Putrajaya, where we were building the Prime Minister's office. And another incident in front of my eyes was workers dismantling the scaffoldings. They were dismantling and, the plug points and all that holding, it collapsed and it was a fatality. This one, no fatality, but that was 2 fatalities just because they never hooked. So these things happen. So now I have a few slides which I can share with you all to show what is fall protection, how we can secure. Okay, this is the general rules. I think here audience, beautiful audience, you all the phones, everything is off. Just listen to what. Okay. Learning objectives from the following objects. What we can learn today here is to understand working at the height legal requirements in Malaysia. Number 2, understand the risk working at the height. Number 3, demonstrate the use of fall protection and equipments. And number 4 is implement the right techniques of inspection of fall protection equipments. Okay. How high is high? As I told you, we have worked the tallest building in the world. Even till today, as a Twin Tower, still it is the tallest building in the world. 561 meters doesn't matter. But as long precautions are taken, well measured are taken, I think prior to this, the speaker from Petra Jakish, she has already shown all the slides on falling objects, falling things. But if I'm going to show the slides again, it's going to be the similar slides. But again, management is very important. The management who runs the construction site is very, very important. Like what I did my management on the Twin Tower, they hardly you can see any openings because construction site is not what you see today. Tomorrow it varies. Tomorrow it changes. So if there is any openings, the first thing my general workers do is close up any openings. And the netting is very important. Netting is not only to cover people from falling, even the object from falling. Because imagine 500 meters there. If one timber can fall, it's not going to fall just direct. It's going to go few meters away. We had an experience of about almost about 500-600 meters away. It fell on a car and broke all the windscreen. So netting is important, which is, I think, most of the projects, they are fully netted. Okay. Any comments? Who asked for it? If we are not taken care, if we have given all the instructions, but the workers are workers. And most of the projects in Malaysia is not that the Malaysian work as a construction workers. We have all the foreigners. We have, like in my project, it was 35 countries, foreign workers, they have come and worked. So the dialect is different. So induction is very, very important because we have to tell them what are rights, what are wrongs, what you can do, what you cannot do. Okay. What is a fall protection? I think you can see it over there. Yeah. If to eliminate, not on the construction sites, let's say you are filling a tank, fuel tank and all that, if it can be filled from the ground level, why you want to fill from the top? So this is the management where they need to do it at a lower ground, not necessary to fill it up from the top. Prevent, yeah, you can have all the guardrails, you can have all the protections, is good. Fall arrest, as I told you earlier, you have the lifeline, you have the best equipments, it also can prevent from falling. Okay. Some of the projects, you just have the ladders, but it should be secured. It is exactly like the cage ladder or with the handrails, and you have the storage tanks and all that. You have a proper guardrails. There is no way people can fall. Okay. This is another example where you have all the protection where they hardly can fall. This is working on top. You see, when I worked in the project in Putrajaya where we built the Prime Minister's office. We have all the domes on the top. So if they can put a full harness on them, and then if their radius of working, so they are really secure. If you don't have, then you ask for it. Lifeline, I think currently whatever projects we are doing, the lifelines are there. Okay, this is the latest techniques. Now we have the full harness where we have the lifeline where we can hook, you can work at any height. Even 500 meters also you can work, but you are secured. So all these precautions now are being taken care. Plus, you can see at the picture, there are primary and secondary protections. So we are working on top, you have the ladders, you have the full harness, you are really secured. These are the equipments we have got. Currently, I think no more like when we were doing the Twin Tower, it was only about 1994. We don't have much of these equipments, but now even to do in 2 meters work, they are fully harnessed. Okay, I think basically it's a mindset. It's a mindset. If you have the right people, right communication, if the management is there, I think we can stop all these falling things or prevent all these falling objects as well as the people. With that, I think, thank you very much.
Thank you, Datuk Kana. I like the fact that you can eliminate and then finally prevent. Ladies and gentlemen, upon arriving to Kolkata, at the Kolkata airport, we saw a group of workers working on a scaffold right at the airport. There are 3 workers on top of the scaffold, and they are all wearing harness. So we were very proud. We were in India, there are people working on the scaffold, and they are all wearing the harness that Datuk Kana showed just now. And then the supervisor came, and supervisor wanted to show something on top. And he climbed up without the harness. So in that cartoon just now, the supervisor said, I told you, but you didn't listen. I think it's the other way around this time. Thank you, Datuk Kana. Another round of applause to the president of MOSPA. Okay, let's go to Vision Zero Golden Rule number 6. To improve qualifications. And for this, we will address fire prevention and emergency response in blast furnaces. So let us all welcome Mr. Animesh Pramanik.
Yes,
already
there.
there.
Okay.
Assistant Director of Factories of the Government of West Bengal.
Yes. We have delayed for which I am here. I am Animesh Pramanik, Inspector of Factories, Durgapur, and my Chief Inspector of Factories, Ashish Kumar Sikh, deputed me for saying something about the blast furnace. You all know there are so many having the blast furnace. Why this blast furnace is important in today's scenario? You know, the India is the 4th largest producer of iron ore after China, Australia, China, Brazil, and then comes India. So you can extract the iron from the iron ore. The main key machineries that is called the plant is the blast furnace. And as all we are learned together about something, the basics about the blast furnace, that there is only one unit, I think, I remembering him, they have the blast furnace. But it is a very, we have learned in our 12th standard regarding the blast furnace. About the blast furnace, presentation outline is about the blast furnace, presentation of associated hazard. There are a lot of hazard already talked about my colleagues and my previous speakers, and case studies related to accident occurred in blast furnace in last 5 years. The basics of blast furnace. What blast furnace do? In blast furnace, encounter current, heat and mass exchanger, in which reduction process we can extract iron from the iron ore. In reactivity table, that carbon is higher than the iron, for which carbon readily replace the oxidized form of the iron for purifying the iron, and it will remove the oxygen from the iron. And above the carbon, there are electrolysis process by which minerals are purified. This is the basic flowchart of blast furnace. You know, the center one big structural cylindrical picture is the blast furnace. Inside the blast furnace, what happened before blast furnace? Raw materials are fed. Raw materials like lump ore, coke, sinter, flux, and pellet. And 30 years ago, there are iron ores, they are in lump condition. But we are already removing the iron ore, the lump one. Today, there are no such existence of lump iron ore, for which we need pellet as well as the sinter. And we have to feed the that raw material into the blast furnace through the top. During the feeding, the blast furnace gas should not come out to the environment, for which there is a locking arrangement. And during this process, for making of impurities removal, we have added the flux. Okay. Inside the blast furnace is a cylindrical structure, and inner line is refractory lining, and outer shell was water cooled. And we have put the hot air injected to the blast furnace through the stove. And the stove was heat up by coke oven gas or blast furnace gas, whatever produced earlier, and storage in gas holder. Okay. You know that coke oven gas having the high calorific value, about 4,200 to 4,400, and that much of energy we can extract from the coke oven gas. It enriched with hydrogen and methane, for which coke oven gas is explosive in nature. However, the blast furnace gas is toxic in nature, as the carbon monoxide is more, as my previous speaker already talked about the toxic hazard of the gases in that plant. And that hot air injected to the bottom of the blast furnace, and raw material charges put it over the top of the blast furnace. And during this process, the reduction takes place, and we can extract the iron, means that hematite to magnetite, magnetite to oxide, and then we get the molten metal or pure iron from bottom of the furnace. What are the hazards of that furnace? The hazards of the furnace are, and telling just after these sheets, I am talking about other two plants. Whatever gas produced in the blast furnace, we have to remove the atmosphere or storage in the gas cylinder after purifying it, for which this GCP, gas cleaning plant, and the dust catcher and the ESP are used for cleaning the gas for further use or storage in gas cylinder, or burn it in flare. And the molten metal bring from the blast furnace, we can put in a caster machine for making pig iron, or bloom caster for making steel and other, through BOF, basic oxygen furnace or converter. What are the hazards in the blast furnace? Sorry. Okay. The picture of blast furnace is like that. Okay. The real picture of that, the major blast furnace in previously in our country, government sector they are producing major iron refining process. Now some private industries, they are also making metal ore for extracting the iron. The hazards, regarding a lot of hazards we have talked about from very morning today. So I am talking about the hazard associated with the operation of blast furnace. Toxic gases rich in carbon monoxide, explosive gases, the coke oven gases, harmful chemicals that comes from the coal chemicals where the coke was produced, liquid metal and slag, the majority of that liquid metal and slags that creates the burn injury to the worker, extreme temperature, that minus 180 to 1700 degree, because cryogenic oxygen is there, that is minus level, and the hot molten metal that is in 1700 level. Fire and explosion protection, electrical shock, traffic, road and road traffic movement, moving rotating machineries, working and height. My previous speaker also talk about a lot of in construction site, working at height. I am not repeating that one. Dust, noise, heat, and vibration. It is inherent hazard of the process of making iron through the blast furnace. Confined space. This is another one hazards that the toxic gas is available inside the confined space. If we are not entered inside the confined space without protocol, then there a mishap may happen. High pressure, steam, water, and industrial gases. In last 4 or 5 years, we have observed some of the accident. I have mentioned right column of that the respective hazards. The Bucket 1, 3 incidents happened in our state in last 4 or 5 years, which is related to the blast furnace. I want to talk about the case studies of that 3 hazards. Those having the blast furnace, they can, if they do not have the corrective step, they can also take their respective measures to avoid such kind of incident in future. This is a blast furnace producing the slag, hot molten slag spill over from a ladle while it was being transported by a locomotive pull carriage and fell onto 4 workers who are standing in the vicinity of the railway track to carry out maintenance job, resulting in the death of 3 workers and serious injury to 1 worker. What happened? That ladle having a safety pin. You can observe the middle picture of first row. There is a L-shaped pin. That L-shaped pin is required to lock the ladle. If anyone do not lock that pin, then during the movement of the wagon, it may tilt. And this accident has happened because the person who is not put the pin over the ladle and it was tilted and molten metals fell on the worker's body. Next, this is also an accident in blast furnace. You know, in blast furnace, in 2-3 years later, the cell of the blast furnace required to be changed after prolonged use of the furnace. Okay, so in that case, they have cut out some portion of the steel plate which was defective and replaced the new steel plate on the cell of the blast furnace. During that process, actually what happened during the process, scaffolding are present inside the furnace. If without knowing the scaffolding, if you want to remove the plate, then what happens? That scaffolding may comes out from the furnace and create the burn injury to the workers who are engaged for cutting of the plate. And that is happened in this case. And this is a blast furnace. What happened for extracting the metal, tap hole is there, and there is a mud gun. That mud gun is required to cap the bottom hole when metal was positioning inside the furnace, and that tap hole was closed by a hydraulically operated gun machine. That hydraulic operated gun machine, the hydraulic tubes or pipes was in a leakage condition. So in high pressure, atomization of hydraulic oils took place, and during that time, that hot molten metal take out from the furnace, and that furnace created a fireball, and that fireball reached to the 14-meter high person working over there, and the fatally occurred to this worker. So this is the 3 scenarios. 3 scenarios of the accident I have observed in past 3 years. Now, conclusion. Where we have lagged behind to protect these workers from that incident. The engineering and administrative, for case 1, engineering and administrative control both are responsible. And for second case, administrative control was not adhered. And the third case, suitable engineering control and administrative control are not take place. This is the hierarchy of the control. In that respect, we have measures this fact about the blast furnace. Thank you. I think we have short in time, and we are, if anything, you have any question regarding the blast furnace, I have here. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Animesh Pramanik, for that enlightening. For that, all right, enlightening speech, especially on those cases. And I'm sure with all the cases, the actions are taken with Vision Zero in mind, which means no more accidents after this, right? Okay, I will hand over back to the MC, as he has messaged me just now, for the next part of the session.
Thank you, Dr. Darius. We would like to present the mementos before we commence the interactions round. So, to do the honors, I would request Mr. N.G. Khaitan, President of Bharat Chamber of Commerce, to please come up. Thank you, sir, for joining us. We will start with Mrs. Sharmishta Ghosh Bhattacharya, Joint Labour Commissioner, Government of West Bengal. Ma'am, if you can. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us today. Now, Ms. Petra Jackish. Thank you, ma'am, for coming here and joining us today. She's the head of International Affairs, Department of DGUV Cooperation, BG BAU, and Secretary General ESA Construction. Sir, if you can please present the memento to Mr. Jasbir Singh, Honorary Secretary, Malaysian Society for Occupational Safety and Health. Next, we have Dato Kanagaraja Raman, President, Malaysian Occupational Safety and Health Practitioners, MOSHPA. Mr. Animesh Pramanik, Assistant Director of Factories, Government of West Bengal. Thank you, Mr. Pramanik, for coming here and addressing us today. We missed the opportunity to present the memento to Mr. Partho Mitro, IES, retired former Principal Labour and Employment Advisor, Ministry of Labour and Employment, Government of India. If you could please come up and accept the honor from Mr. Khaitan. I would request Mr. Mitra to kindly take his seat on the dais for the next round. And last but not the least, I would request Mr. Khaitan to present the memento to Mr. Bimal Kanti Sahu, Director, Indo-German Focal Point.
Very grateful to our Bharat Chamber.
Thank you, sir. I would request Mr. Sahu to please take his seat on the dais. And
also, I'm the president also. Yes, come, we'll find the dais.
All right. So I would request Mr. Khaitan to please take his seat on the dais. We have a few mementos from Parkizo, and I would request Dr. Azlan to present the mementos from Parkizo. Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Darius. May I request you to continue with the interactions?
Thank you very much, Madam Chairman. We have a whole full table here for anybody to ask any questions or whether anybody would like to have any opinions on our conference as well as our endeavor towards Vision Zero. But before we start all of that, I think it is fair for me to invite. Okay. So to make it easier, I think let's have Mr. Bimal Kanti Sahu to start the interactions because a couple of things that he wanted to announce to everybody.
While we are coming to the very concluding part of our interaction session, and all of my first and most important thing is that welcome again our President, Mr. N.G. Khaitan, who has joined us. A big applause. So, and since last 2 days we are doing it. Question and answer session, if you have, I think, Parthamitra sir, anything which you have to take some takeaways or something you want to speak? 2 minutes, I think you can have. That is better. You can use that. I'll be as a young man, I'll stand here, don't worry. You kindly give your takeaways.
Anyway, we have come to the concluding part of this very important international conference which we had. It was a world of experience sharing both from Malaysia and India. And I particularly thank the Bharat Chamber of Commerce, particularly President Mr. Khaitan and the Secretary General Mrs. K.K. Sharma and her team. I think they have done a wonderful job in organizing this conference in such a short span of time. It's a big challenge, particularly I'm from Kolkata, so I know the challenges of organizing such conferences in this city. But despite all the problems, I think the team really kind of worked very hard to put this in position, and I would particularly like to thank the entire team from the Bharat Chamber. As for the contents of the conference, I think it was a wonderful piece of experience, a lot of learnings for us to take back home. I think the Malaysian side would also come to know about the issues that are kind of important in India. And we also learned from the Malaysian experience, particularly the presentations which the Malaysian speakers had made. A lot of things for us to kind of enrich our experience and improve upon practices. And also from the BG Pao, the presentations enlighten us and give us a global perspective as to which way we should be moving in this transition, particularly when the world is seeing an energy transition with the 2 wars that are happening, and challenges are there, but OSH will have to kind of continue, because without a safe working place, I don't think humanity can survive. So with these few words, let me conclude and hand over the mic to the MC or the chairperson, Dr. Azlan Darius. Yeah.
I was coming in your absence.
We'll give it. You have me to speak. Okay. So before I just we are most concluding session, 2 things I wanted to, since the president has also joined. So last 2 days deliberations, 2 things we have come, and I hope this is a great to our 2 days deliberations that Bharat Chamber rightly, because we know how we have come to this. It's a joint year of the great efforts hosted by the Bharat Chamber and also Perisco, who they stood by us, and all of us were together. So what takeaways for the future? I would like to take the liberty to announce this with hope that the Bharat Chamber will be the nodal agency for similar training program at which will be, I expect the next edition should be at Kuala Lumpur, so that with Bharat Chamber as nodal agency to host, to lead at least 50 delegates. So we come there. So it is, so that's what I request. Yesterday we had, so I said, Khaitan Saab, so that this will be the 1 point. Second, yesterday we discussed that which can be better other than Bharat Chamber to have a center of excellence established with Bharat Chamber, so that with all the technical support which we have Perisco, then we will request our German partners, so that we come up with a great moment of center of excellence, which with my experience and expertise will lend us support, so that it will leading COE as far as Chamber of Commerce, for which let's give a big hand. So with these two things, you want to say anything now? 1 minute. Please, I request Khaitan Saab to have just 2 minutes. That's all.
First of all, my apologies to all the participants, all the speakers, and also to my Secretariat Bharat Chamber of Commerce that I was not able to attend this particular international conference. I was out of town. I just landed and I straight came from the airport. Sorry for not being there. But I am very happy to announce that, you know, the Bharat Chamber has agreed to have Vision Zero, a center of excellence at our chamber. And I request Mr. Sahu, if you can be the chairman of that particular.
Thank you. So nice of you.
Secondly, our membership, you know, we have 38 affiliates bodies as our 38 or 36 affiliate members. How many? 34. Various industrial bodies are our member. A lot of industrial houses are our member, and particularly most of the steel sector is our member. I think whatever has been the deliberation in today's conference, we would like to prepare a short summary of that and give it to all our members, you know, so that whatever has to be adopted to implement Vision Zero in their own organization, we would like to implement that. And I think Bharat Chamber would take a leading role as far as this particular issue is concerned and to take away from this international conference. So thank you, all the attendees, all the participants, all our speakers, and particularly the organizing committee for organizing this conference. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
So at the end is always coming at the best of the thing what the president of Khaitan Saab has said. We live up to this so that this will be a benchmark. And how can I forget Dr. Azlan, who was there with us since A-Day. So your moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, I was a bit worried that Mr. Sahu is going to end before I get to thank everyone. So we have reached to our end of the conference, and I think we have achieved our conference goal. I would like to just pass a message. What is there to take home? Number one, I welcome everyone, every single one of you here, because you are now part of the global movement of Vision Zero, because we all now believe in Vision Zero, which means we do not accept accident, we do not accept death because of work, we do not accept that work can cause diseases. Number two, ladies and gentlemen, what we have witnessed at the conference today is Vision Zero. So please go back and have that belief of Vision Zero, not zero vision. Okay? Because zero vision means no vision. So whenever you talk about Vision Zero, always say Vision Zero. Do not ever translate it into zero vision, okay? And thirdly, now this is my call to everybody here. Once you get hope,
or even before you go home, but not during driving, please search Vision Zero in your web browser, whether it's Google or whether it's Firefox or whatever. Please search Vision Zero Global, click on the website for Vision Zero, register your company as a Vision Zero company or a Vision Zero partner. It's all free. And please use the materials which are provided free at the Vision Zero Global. Many of the things that you saw on the slides are really available at the Vision Zero Global website. So please do that. Do that before you go home. Do that after you reach home or your workplace. Just don't do it while driving, okay? And finally, just before I hand over to Mr. Sahu, I would like again to thank the Bharat Chamber of Commerce for organizing the conference today and yesterday, which is very successful. I would like to thank the Indo-German Focal Group for their tremendous contribution for the conference, including the DGUV and all the BGs within the DGUV. Of course, we must thank the sponsors for allowing us to be here. And I would also like everyone to give a big round of applause when I mention these persons, because these are the people, the main people behind the scene who make this happen. And I would like also for Keso to hand over a memento for each of these persons. But first, let's start with Bharat Chamber of Commerce. And of course, we have to acknowledge Mr. N.G. Khaitan for your contribution. Secondly, we must, of course, not forget Mr. Bimal Kanti Sahu, very instrumental in making our conference today. Mr. Bimal.
Okay. Very much.
Next, may I invite Mr. Partha Mitra? Ladies and gentlemen, these are the people who've been organizing this and planning for all this. There is a person who's running the conference behind the scene. You don't see her so much. So we like to appreciate Madam Keka Sharma, the Secretary General of the Bharat Chamber of Commerce.
She has taken all the thing behind the thing. Nice, excellent.
And before we conclude, I think I owe my duty to inform you all that normally we rarely have international conference of large magnitude in Kolkata. Most of the international conferences are either held in Delhi or Mumbai. So first of all, my thanks to you, sir. I mean, you have been a leading force as far as Vision Zero is concerned, not Zero Vision, as he rightly said, for selecting Bharat Chamber of Commerce, giving an opportunity to us for organizing this international conference. And you will be happy to note that we had 50 foreign participants attending this particular conference. So therefore,
German.
yeah, I know. So my thanks to all the foreign participants. I hope you all had a good stay in Kolkata. You had an opportunity to some of the landmarks of Kolkata. I don't know whether you had an opportunity or not, and whether you had an opportunity to taste Bengali sweets. That's the landmark and hallmark of Calcutta city. I would also like to thank the speakers from Malaysia and Germany. You came all the way to speak in this conference. So thank you all. Apart from thanking Bharat Chamber of Commerce, I think you deserve a better thank you and more thank you from all of us. So thank you all for being in this conference.
Before we conclude, what Mr. Khaitan Saab said, also there is some tradition, an Indian tradition of giving some rope. So I'll just take 2 minutes. My request to that all these things have happened. Bharat Chamber, particularly 3 of them, with your permission. Keka, please come. Avik, please come. And our announcer, please come. Please come. You give me 3. I'll request Shabina. Shabina, you can come to present. And Dr. Felton. Another lady from our, please come. Please come. You please be here.
I would like to start with the youngest.
Yeah. We'll start. Please. It's
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Yes, please come. Dr. Felton. Madam, please come.
Easier.
Now I request Dr. Jain Juling, if you can come, please. You can come. Who can forget our main architect also from our Malaysia system? Dr. Adlan. And last but not the least, kindly stay. I request our chief manager, Partha Mitra Sir, to hand over to the head. You will be given. Okay. From our digital side, the senior most was come. So I request to kindly. Okay. So thank you very much. All of us, Vision Zero, live and will be this next edition will be waiting in Kuala Lumpur. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Thank you. Anything else?
Thank you, everyone. We conclude the 2-day program. Please join us for lunch.